Welcome to the weekly-ish roundup of crafting stuff. And no, I'm not going to workshop the name like I said I would last time because I've already animated all of this. So the name is sticking for now. But honestly, I think it's a pretty fitting name. My name's Betsy. I've put up a couple videos so far of me crafting a diorama, a dice tower, some dice jails for D&D. And that's kind of the space I'm going to stay in with my own crafting videos. Similarly, this series, my weekly-ish roundup series, is going to be me showing you cool things I found on the internet that fall into that general space. Primarily, we're going to be talking cool terrain builds I've seen, cool videos in the terrain building, diorama making space on YouTube. But I might throw in a couple other crafty things that aren't directly related to that. Generally, it's all just going to be nerdy crafting stuff, so let's get started. First up is this video from Bill Making Stuff. Bill makes fantastic builds. He primarily does scatter terrain and also scratch-built minis and robots and little things. He uses a lot of beads and just trash and he really truly is a fantastic scratch builder, which is what I love to do as well. I definitely relate to him a lot in terms of his approach. He makes things out of just things he's found at, thrift stores and literal trash. Here he's using a paintbrush and just some old wooden beads. He's making a Gestral in this latest video, which is a type of a creature from Expedition 33. I don't know much about the video game. Clair Obscura? I don't know. I've heard it's a fantastic game. I just haven't played it yet. But yeah, Bill makes this awesome little creature in his latest video. I was secretly hoping that he would have posted a video soon while I started this weekly roundup series so I could feature him sooner rather than later because he's one of my favorite creators. Go check out this video. It's awesome. Next up is this video from Jazza. If you don't know Jazza, he's an Australian YouTuber. You probably know him if you follow my videos because he has millions of subscribers. But he makes this awesome demon titan from the game Doom. I'm not familiar with the game Doom, at least not enough to know what this creature is. But it is this humongous, it's like 3 or 4 feet tall, what he ends up making. It's partially 3D printed, a little bit of sculpting. It looks so awesome. Jazza is a fantastic example of like when you have the resources to do these massive things, do it. I mean, I think most of us could probably only dream of making something this big. I'm currently in my home studio, which you can't see the whole thing, but it is very small. This would not fit into it. Not everybody has a hot wire cutter. Not everyone has a 10-foot long table to make this awesome terrain that you see him building here. But hey, if you have it, do it. Make cool, inspiring stuff like this. Jazza is a really positive person in this community. He makes awesome stuff. He does more than just terrain building and mini painting and stuff like that, but that is a big part of what he constantly comes back to. And man, it just looks so good. And not only does the Titan look good, which is the focus, but the terrain that he built is absolutely stunning as well. You can just see the lava cracks and the broken bridge in the background. Fantastic stuff. Highly recommend checking this out. Next, we have this new YouTuber that I just discovered named Crafting with Cafe. Actually, hold on. Let me listen to it. Okay. Crafting with Cafe. Okay, it's me from like an hour in the future. You saw me in the clip listen to his video intro and I still got his name pronunciation wrong. I'm so sorry. It's Kafi. If I'm still getting it wrong, please let me know in the comments, but I believe it's Crafting with Kafi. So Kafi, I'm so sorry that I got your name wrong when I even listened to it and still got it wrong somehow. Back to the video. This was posted 9 days ago. Kafi already has 4.9 thousand subscribers. This video has 56,000 views. It is 100% deserved. Just as someone who's just starting out on YouTube, you can't help but be like, oh my gosh. But hey, sometimes it just happens, and even more likely to happen when you have such a fantastic video. Sorry, I just realized I'm filming half of the screen right now. That's better. So what Caffey does is make a clicker from The Last of Us out of a Buzz Lightyear toy. If you don't know Last of Us, this is a zombie video game and now TV show. And instead of the main character Joel, it's Woody. Instead of a zombie, it's Buzz Lightyear zombie. the final product is ridiculous. It is so awesome. It is so cool. And it's just a fun time. Caffey is deserving of all these views. I'm still extremely impressed that he has this many views on his very first video. But hey, more power to ya. Yeah, this is dope. That's everything I have for YouTube, and we're now moving on to Reddit. This is from the Poor Hammer Reddit. If you're not familiar with that Reddit thread, well, it is what it sounds like. The description here says, in the grim $40 budget of the far future, there is only war. So yeah, these are just really creative builds from people who aren't spending a bunch of money on Warhammer armies and things like that. And a lot of times, that's kind of what I'm into. You get a lot of really creative builds and really scrappy kinds of things. This is from user Zerozoranth. I have it linked below. They made a giant army, or at least this is a work in progress, out of just foam, and it's awesome. I mean, it's really detailed. It's kind of hard to see what's happening when it's not painted, but once these are painted up, these are gonna look awesome. This one is my favorite. The silhouette, the like design of this, the big weapon is so cool. I feel like this one is gonna look fantastic. And I actually need to make a note to follow this Reddit user to see if they post the final thing. And if you like this too and want an update, let me know and I'll share it if there ever is one. But yeah, like this is cool. This is why I love this Poor Hammer subreddit, because it's just people getting really like genius ideas and, you know, being really inventive with what they can do with not a lot of money. Awesome job. Staying in the Reddit world, but moving on to the Frostgrave subreddit. This one is just so simple. It's made from cardboard, what looks like a little bit of probably marker to like kind of draw some details on, some trees that honestly look like they were just bought, which I think is awesome. And I just love it. It's simple, but it's not simple at the same time. You could make this with a little bit less detail. Like you don't need these little stones up top. You don't need these to be arches. You don't need this column to be actually cylindrical. And by you don't need, I mean it wasn't necessary. But this user went above and beyond to make this look really special with just cardboard and what appears to be like Sharpie. I just think this looks awesome. This just goes to show you don't need fancy supplies. We don't all have the supplies that Jazza has to make these awesome, realistic looking terrain builds. I would be stoked to play a game on this. You can tell a lot of love and care went into this, and I just think it's awesome. Forgot to mention, this is by user Getrigan on the Frostgrave subreddit. Continuing on in Reddit to the D&D subreddit. This is so cool. I was so excited to show this. This is a DM. This is coming from Reddit user Redcap Press, whose party is fighting inside a huge clock tower, and they ordered some laser cut gears, mounted them on scrap plywood, then cut out oversized cardboard gears and hot glued them to the wooden gears. So the way that this Reddit user describes this makes it seem like it's really janky, but this is incredible. I cannot believe that it's moving so flawlessly. It makes me want to play around with gears. Side note, this is where I get a lot of my inspiration, so don't be surprised if I try to build something with gears. I will absolutely credit anywhere I pull inspiration from, but gosh, this gives me so many ideas of cool things you could do. I just love the inventiveness of these homebrew kinds of things. I mean, this is just awesome. It doesn't even need fancy details. The fact that it's just an incredible moving battlefield would be so exciting to play on. Like, I'm getting excited just thinking about it, and I'm not part of this party. I've never been a DM yet myself, which I know is a little weird because I think a lot of the people who make terrain for D&D are the DMs. That definitely makes it easier, but I've worked a lot with my DM to kind of figure out how I can help him make terrain without actually knowing what encounters are about to happen. It's challenging. I don't necessarily recommend it, but it's been working out really well for me. But anyway, if I was a DM, I would want to do something like this. This is so cool, and it just gets me really excited. I want to play D&D right now on this. This next one is a quick little one from the r/kitbash subreddit. This is where people are kit bashing, usually minis, for different types of war games. A lot of time it's Warhammer. And if you don't know, kit bash just means that you're taking different kits, different miniatures, maybe just random things that aren't actually from mini kits in the first place, and bashing them together and making a solid mini with a base that has the story that you've made out of different pieces from different places. to create like a unique type of model. And this one I just thought was really fun. It's a space marine with a Rubik's Cube. That's it. That's the story. But I think the color is really interesting, how they did it black and white and just had the Rubik's Cube in color. I just loved this. Thought it was a lot of fun. Not much more to say about that. This is from Reddit user InfiniteFunny5350. Next one is from Reddit user Papa Svard in the terrain building subreddit. And this is just a really beautiful ruined city. Now they called this a whip, work in progress for those who don't know what that means. But I mean, gosh, this looks pretty dang good to me. I'm wondering if he's adding more details or maybe more different pieces to swap in and out. I don't know. But I just thought this was really pretty. I especially love the fountain and the trees. I love when you have these ruined cities. They always look really cool. But any way that you can have a couple pieces that have a bit more color to them without fully distracting from the build, I think is really cool. You don't want it to look out of place. And I think this user towed that line really beautifully with the fountain. There looks like there's even like a little bit of different color variation in the stone. This was just really done with a lot of love and care and attention to detail, and I thought it deserved to be featured. And for the penultimate slot on my weekly-ish roundup, we've got Instagram user _francis.co. This is a paper craft artist, and they make these incredible illustrations on paper. It looks like some sort of European old style house, and then folds it into a 3D building. Now, surely this is not the first person who's done this, right? Surely there's other people who make Warhammer and D&D terrain out of papercraft. Surely there's other papercraft artists who make things like this just for art. And also things exist like this that can be printed to make into cardboard houses, really quick terrain for D&D. But just the mix between the simplicity, just being folded paper, and the artistry involved to do these absolutely stunning illustrations is just the coolest. This one really inspires me. I actually have a background in illustration. I am nowhere near this good, or at least my style is nothing like this. But this does inspire me to try to make some terrain out of drawings on paper. I just think that's a really interesting mix. If you'd like to see me do something like that, let me know. I would love to try it. And finally, also on Instagram, we've got Brush and Banner Official. I found this video a couple days ago of this guy showing you step by step how to add a little weathered finish to your metal pieces. I love this video. I also think he has another one that stood out to me a lot, which is this ruins and his technique on painting the stone. But there is something about Brush and Banner Official's tutorials, these quick little tutorials on Instagram in particular, that are just so unbelievably digestible and easy to understand and clear and approachable and beginner friendly and all of the adjectives. Obviously there are dozens and dozens of tutorials on mini painting and terrain painting, but I don't know, I found this video and I was just so amazed at how easy this made it seem that I went and watched like every little video he had posted, and truly they are all fantastic little quick digestible tutorials. If you consider yourself someone who wants to paint stuff like this, whether it be minis or terrain, I think the skills can be applied to both, even though he's mostly focusing on minis. I would definitely give him a follow. Even just down to his thumbnails being really clearly labeled for what you could be looking for. Glazing techniques, this one's awesome too. I'm hoping he posts even more videos in the future. He's only got 22 right now. So that is my weekly-ish roundup. Quick little honorable mention to Joann Fabrics. You're probably thinking, what is she talking about? Joann Fabrics is a craft and fabric store here in the United States, maybe other places, that is currently going out of business. I'm in Massachusetts, and the ones in Massachusetts are closing their doors at the end of this month, May 2025. And me and my husband went today to check out what they had in stock, and they didn't have a lot. So you don't have a ton of time by the time you're watching this video. But if you live near Joann Fabrics that's going out of business, go and see what you can get, because even though it's pretty slim pickings, what you can find is so cheap. I found these little plastic kind of rhinestone gem looking things. It's a decent amount for this little container. This was originally, I think, a few dollars. It was marked down, I'm looking at my receipt, to 34 cents. So I bought probably a dozen or more, and it cost me, I don't know, what's the math on that? Less than $6. And this is gonna last me a really long time. I think I could use these for rivets. I got a lot of yellow ones, you might have noticed, and that's because I have an idea of using these for like gold pieces. I just think in general, going to the clearance bin as a crafter, as a scratch builder, is your best friend, because we don't need the specific things that they're being used for, if that makes sense. Like, we're the type of people that goes to Home Depot and is like, okay, I'm looking for a small cylindrical plastic piece that fits about this big on the inside and is capped on the other side and maybe has a slight bend to it. And then the worker's like, wait. So what department? Like, are you doing a plumbing job? What is an electrical thing? And you're like, oh no, I'm an artist. I don't know that this exists. I'm just asking if you have something that looks like that, because that's kind of the type of piece I'm looking for my scratch build. And then they're like, okay, has this happened to anybody else? Because that's definitely not something that's happened to me in real life multiple times. It is. I've done that. That has been me. Anyway, go to your local crafting store and look in the clearance bin, because it doesn't matter if it's actually a thing for sewing, if it'll be useful in a kit bash or a scratch build. Get it while it's on sale. And also, Joann Fabrics is going out of business, so run, don't walk. And that's gonna do it for this week's roundup of cool crafting things I found on the internet. Again, if you like this series of videos, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to make more. So far, the responses have been really great, so thank you for sticking around and watching. And if you have anything that you want me to feature in next week's video, I'm pretty fast and loose about what's considered the last week. If it was posted in like March and it's really, really cool, I might still show it, because who cares? I make the rules. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. My next crafting video should be coming out in the next week or so stick around. Also, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I still feel really icky asking people to do that, because I feel like I'm shelling my wares or something, but I think it's a necessary evil of this YouTube thing. Anyway, have a great week. New crafting video coming out soon, and I'll hopefully have another weekly-ish roundup coming out soon as well.